Alhamdulillah, as-salatu was-salamu ala Rasulillah. Okay, so we are now starting um, the last, you can say, quarter of the fiqh. So it is al-jinayat. So it is about the crimes and punishments. Obviously, the Kitabul Jinayat, it is nothing to do with the fiqh. It's very small amount of fiqh in terms of small amount of ijtihad. Even we do have the opinion which say that for the punishments we don't need the scholar to be mujtahid mutlaq. Okay, because it's mainly based on the athar. Okay, and as you know, the Ahlus Sunnah, it is just, especially the athari, which we are following, part of Ahl Sunnah, it is just followers of the athar. So that's why most of the masail that we'll be discussing, it is based on the athar. The athar are mainly maybe over 60% of the issues are set up by Umar and Ali radiallahu anhuma. Okay, so these are two main, you can say, authorities of the chapter of Jinayat. Okay, so that's why in most of the parts were very similar to Maliki, Shafi'i and Hanbali. Rarely you find some differences. Okay, and I do actually doubt that Abu Hanifa has participated in the quarter of the Jinayat. Okay, in terms of and so that's why most of the masail which is attributed to Abu Hanifa, it is takhrij of Imam Muhammad, mainly taken from Abu Yusuf. Imam Muhammad takes from Abu Yusuf or makes takhrij based on the general principles of Abu Hanifa. So it's very easy. Okay, so that's why jinayat are very easy. قال المصنف رحمه الله ونفعنا بعلومه وبكم آمين. القتل على 5 أوجه. عمد وشبه عمد وخطأ. عمد could be read as عمد also. قتل عمد so but anyway the most popular one is عمد. Okay, both are masdar, both are perfectly fine. So it's the same as ضرب ضرب. Okay, so both are same. But normally when the second is mutaharrik, normally it is used as sifa mushabbaha. وخطأ وما أجري مجرى الخطأ والقتل بسبب. فالعمد ما تعمد ضربه بسلاح أو ما أجري مجرى السلاح في تفريق الأجزاء كالمحدد من الخشب والحجر والنار وموجب ذلك المأثم والقود إلا أن يعفو الأولياء ولا كفارة فيه. وشبه العمد عند أبي حنيفة رحمه الله تعالى أن يتعمد الضرب بما ليس بسلاح ولا ما أجرى مجراه. وقال رحمهما الله تعالى إذا ضربه بحجر عظيم أو بخشبة عظيمة فهو عمد full stop. وشبه العمد أن يتعمد ضربه بما لا يقتل غالبا أو بما لا يقتل غالبا وموجب ذلك على القولين المأثم والكفارة ولا قود وفيه دية مغلظة على العاقلة. Where is Adam Sharif? Oh. Is she with her babysitter? Okay. Next time she can come with the bottle, the milk.
It's gone big enough to make more noise.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay, Sayyidi. Al-Qatlu ala khams. So there are 5 types of murderer. So the first one is deliberate. Okay. and the second is شبه عمد, similar to deliberate. Okay, it looks like it, but it is not. The third one is خطأ. خطأ, mistake. Inshallah, we're going to discuss each of them in detail. And the next one is وما أجري مجرى الخطأ, something which is similar or treated as mistake. And the last one is القتل بسبب, the murderer by a reason. We are going to discuss each of that. Okay, now the deliberate murderer. Can you guys help me, please? What do you consider as deliberate murderer? Killing someone deliberately. There is some difference between the contemporary definition of deliberate murderer and the Islamic one. We're going to now discuss. Okay, yes. So contemporary definition of the deliberate one is planning. So you will plan for it and you will do it. But what about, so I do not plan, okay, but someone, for example, comes and, for example, he provokes my anger. He insults me, for example, and then I pick up knife and then I kill. Is it deliberate or not?
Yeah. In English, yeah.
No, but did I plan for it?
No, they will look at you like intention at the time. So it doesn't necessarily mean you plan it, as in like, spending days and weeks, etc.
Okay. Okay, makes sense. Anything else, please? What do you consider as deliberate murder? Yes, please. Yes, go ahead. Anyone? Okay. Deliberate murderer is ما تعمد ضربه بسلاح أو ما أجري مجرى السلاح. So, deliberate murder, according to the Islamic law, is killing someone by the equipment of death. Equipment of death. Okay. So what is treated as a death? So, for example, I want to ask you a question. If I kill someone with a spoon, is it deliberate murder or not? Why not? Is not considered as a equipment of death. Understand? So, as long as person is killing someone with something which is known to kill, okay, which is treated as equipment of death, then we call it as deliberate murderer. Okay. For example, كالمحدد من الخشب. For example, we have a wood, okay, muhaddad. But you know, one end of the wood, it is sharpened. Yeah. So I will just I will sharpen it and then I will kill it. So definitely it is created to kill. Understand? Or hajar, or some stone, rock, but sharpened also. One side is sharpened. Okay. But what about if it's just big stone but not sharpened? One side is not sharpened. And then I throw and I kill someone. Is it classed as deliberate murder or not? Big stone. Big rock.
Would it still be, because you know that a big rock could potentially still kill somebody because it's big, it's not small?
Okay, so we have to just think about it. We have to analyze. For example, in the British, for example, criminal law, is it classed as equipment of murder or not? So Abu Hanifa says no. It is not. It is not a deliberate murderer. Okay, because it is not treated as equipment of a death. Rarely it is used. Rarely, but as you know, we Hanafis we do not generalize the rare conditions. Okay, so the qaida fiqhiyya says النادر لا حكم له. Do I have nadir here? Who is nadir? What's your name? Nadir Bhai. Where is Nadir? Nadira Apa. Where is Nadira Apa? So Nadir in Arabic language means rare. Something happens rarely. Okay, so قاعدة فقهية says النادر لا حكم له. The rare occurring issue does not have general condition. Is not considered. It does not have specific condition, specific hukum. Okay, so we know, for example, maybe 1 in 10,000 murder happens with big stone, but 1 in 10,000 is very rare. We cannot give to the big rock the status of weapon. Understand? Yeah.
Before, if he intentionally does it.
Yeah, obviously in terms of sin, he's not. But now we are implementing the ظاهري hukum. We are about to apply qisas. Are we going to do it? His intention is between him and God. But we look into the explicit condition. And in the explicit condition, he is throwing stone. But what did he intend? We don't know that.
What if he admits? Would we give him the almost?
No. So we do not. We Hanafis do not do it. Because, there are certain conditions in which we take the, for example, the statement of the killer. Okay, but not all the time. Especially in the revenge. Okay, because it is because when you are killing someone, you do not feel normally. You understand? I mean, so you cannot recall everything. So, for example, why we Hanafis do not take the testimony of the females in the crime, for example, in the murderer, and we need only 2 male witnesses. 1 male and 2 females are not considered as valid witness. Why? Because during the crime, women cannot follow accurately, because they're not humans. Understand? So because when someone is killing another person, women normally look into if something falls off from his pocket, and how much is that, and is it dollar or is it something, you understand? No, because while killing, even some men cannot look at the murderer. Understand? We take away our eyes. Very painful to watch. Understand? So that's why it has to be 2 male witnesses. So in that condition, if someone says, so for example, I killed some person with the pen, and I say I wanted to kill him, do we accept it? No. Understand? Because so first of all, Zahir is against him, and the second, during the murderer, you get shocked by yourself. You get shocked. So you will not be performing well. Mentally, you will not. Anyway. But in most of the cases, what person says, it will be taken. Except when he opposes the Zahir, okay, and it is a critical condition in which he will not be thinking properly. So because of these 2 conditions, we just dismiss what he says. We'll go with Zahir. فالعمد ما تعمد ضربه بسلاح. So it is the amd, deliberate murderer, is when someone commits murder with the equipment of death. So silah, weapon, أو ما أجري مجرى سلاح, or something which is similar to the weapon. Okay, equipment of a death. So in the society, it is known to kill. So for example, do you know? Do I have something in Pakistan, for example, which people normally use to kill, but it is not known as equipment of death in here? Maybe pan to kill someone, you give him pan. Yeah. No. So it's very possible that in one city or in one country something is classed to be as a weapon, but in other is not. So do you know, for example, in Chinese, maybe let's say 200. Do you know nunchucks, or what do they call? Nunchucks, yeah. It is equipment of death, but in China. But in here, white people they will think it is like eating equipment, you know. So in here, we do. So if someone is killed by that in China, that is murderer, deliberate, but not in the UK, because in here that it's not used to kill. Okay, so what does it constitute? So he says, وَمُوجَبُ ذَلِكَ, it constitutes, its outcome, its ruling is al-ma'tham, sin, okay, wal-qawad, and revenge. Okay, so obviously in terms of sin, is it permanent punishment or not? So Ahl Sunnah and Shia say no. Within Hanafi school, disagreed upon. Senior Hanafis say yes, permanent. For the deliberate murderer, permanent punishment, hellfire. Okay, so according to the early Hanafis, so there are two sins which constitute permanent punishment. One of them is إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَغْفِرُ أَنْ يُشْرَكَ بِهِ. One is shirk, and the second is مَنْ قَتَلَ مُؤْمِنًا مُتَعَمِّدًا فَجَزَاؤُهُ جَهَنَّمُ خَالِدًا فِيهَا. So permanently remaining in there. Okay, so early Hanafi scholars, they said Maturidi position is the latest Hanafi position. Sheikh Abu Mansur did not make so normally he firmly backs up, if there is disagreement, he backs up firmly one position. In this issue, he was quite soft to back up the latest Hanafi position, so he did not negate the early position very strongly, firmly. So he was a bit skeptical. So I say do not kill deliberately. Okay, but if someone has already committed so we ask him to repent, we give him hope. Understand? Yeah, but you should not. So it is one of two taboos actually. And so the early Hanafi position is quite consistent with the Quranic thing. If you remember, what was the main concern of the angels against us to God? Bloodshed, murderer. Understand? Yeah, but in our time, these guys, 100 people, he was killing them all, and Allah forgave him, said, go to paradise, No. Hanafis, I'm sorry, go to the hell forever. Understand? But paradise, possibly, but not go to paradise. No, never. Possibly, but you are ending up in the hell. That's our stance. Which one? It is so. The early Hanafis they grab on that, But the latest Hanafi, they're Atharis, aren't they? So a single chain narration can abrogate the entire Quran. So that's how, that's one thing. But so that's why Sheikh Abu Mansur was not very firm to oppose that, He said, so anyway, just be careful about this, okay? Deliberate murder is quite, or even causing the deliberate murder for someone. Both are equal. Killing someone deliberately, or group of people are willing to kill, and you support that, and so both are same. So be careful. Okay. And also not only khalidan fiha, it's not permanently staying. وَلَعَنَ اللَّهُ, and Allah has cursed them. Okay. وَغَضِبَ عَلَيْهَا, and Allah is angry. So it is so it's not that, go to paradise. No. Go to paradise is maybe about looking at something which is not you understand. But killing someone, it's not easy. So it is, so the position of Ahl Sunnah and Shia, consensus of Ahl Sunnah and Shia, it is forgivable. Okay, and even if person does not repent, Allah can still forgive him. Early Hanafi position, no, he's going to the hell forever. Okay, yes.
For deliberate murder, what if someone strangles someone? So he's not using a weapon.
Abu Hanifa says no. According to Abu Hanifa, no. Okay, and then the latest Hanafi said, the latest position is the official Hanafi position is the position of Abu Hanifa. But then they said, if he has habit of killing someone by this, but then it becomes deliberate for him, because for him it became so strangling someone is equipment of death for him. So when he does it, we know that he's willing to, because he already killed someone previously. Understand? Yeah. So that is the condition added by the latest Hanafi. For me, makes sense, because the main condition is intending to kill someone. And how do we know that he's intending? So as long as he's using something which caused death before, means he's intending to kill him. Understand? So pass on to Oldham Sharif. Next time, do you know the plates, flying objects, plates is murder, deliberate. Yeah? To the husband. Yeah? Okay. Okay, so then, إِلَّا أَنْ يَعْفُوَ الْأَوْلِيَاءُ, unless the relatives forgive. Okay, forgive. Or he pleases them. So he says, okay, I'm going to pay you money. Just take it and, So if they say, okay, we are taking, so no revenge anymore. So there is one of two, either revenge or either relatives forgive.
How would the revenge be? Would it be exactly the same way or there's
That's just beautiful question. Okay, so the Athari Hanafi position is the revenge is only with the sword, beheading. Okay, but then they said no, but if it is someone who is, for example, raping or this type of thing, okay, so first he will be, first exactly what he has done, okay, and he will be left for short period and then he will be beheaded. Short period means just seconds, 30 seconds. Okay, so for punching, for example, his belly or his sides, for example, cutting, and then beheading. Okay, or else it's just beheading. Yeah. إِنَّ لَكُمْ فِي الْقِصَاصِ حَيَاةً يَا أُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. Quran is so clear cut. Allah says, in the revenge, it is your life. Because look, when you take the crime easily, it encourages the crime, isn't it? No, you have to be firm. Life of a person is not easy. Okay, so anyway, so that's why I do respect the criminal law of America, because they do still practice it. China, okay, in the corruption, so all of that still, they still do it. But obviously they could be unjust, yes, of course. Unjust is everywhere. Okay, but at least it would keep the safety, okay, in the place. Okay, إلا أن ولا كفارة, and there is no any kafara. Okay, kafara, like a penalty, like a fasting or paying some charity. We do not have that. So it's sin and revenge, or the relatives will forgive. وشبه العمد, and something which is similar to the deliberate murderer. Abu Hanifa says, what is the شبه العمد? So he says, أن يتعمد الضرب بما ليس بسلاح, to hit someone or to kill someone by something which is not considered as equipment of the death. Okay, equipment of the death. ولا ما أجري مجراها, and not something which is treated as equipment of death. So for example, if you go to one of the maybe very backward countries, countries which is far away from the civilization, so maybe just normal size rock could be classed as deliberate murderer, because maybe that's what they use to kill people. Understand? Yeah. Obviously, I do believe that it is the position of Abu Hanifa, his actual statement, okay, because we have got his statement about that. The early Hanafi Mashayikh, when they comment on that staying in the hell forever, they quote Abu Hanifa. Okay, so I do believe that it's from them. So Ibrahim bin Sayyar, so he quotes this statement from. So I do believe that it's not takhrij, but it's the actual position of Imam Abu Hanifa radiallahu anhu. Yeah.
Could it be like interpreted as just very long time?
So yeah. So for example, the Athari Mashayikh. So Sheikh Abu Mansur mentions it in his tafsir. So he brings the ayat in which Allah uses Khalid, in which we have disagreement. Okay, so because what's the meaning of khulud? Khulud is used literally for permanent remaining, but metaphorically for long remaining also. Okay, so for example, Khalid bin Walid. So do you think there is anyone who believes that human can stay forever, but they do call their children as Khalid, remaining one? Okay, but is it for, well, it's again, but then counter argument, Khalid, when they say Khalid, they do not mean that their child will be living forever, but permanently living in the ease, in mercy. But that is, yes, they are Arabians use, for example, Falat. Okay, Falat, for example, Fayafi, Falat. Do you know the desert in Arabic language is called as success? Arabians use Falat, success. Understand? Why? It's just Arabians, they do have this, superstition. Do you know Fal? Giving good news for superstition, for good intent. Do you understand? So Khalid is not to remain forever, but to remain forever in mercy and in ease. Yes, they do believe in it. Understand? So Abu Mansur couldn't support any of the two by the strength which he does normally. Understand? So be careful. So deliberate murderer, don't take it easily. Yeah. So that single chain narration about that killing 99, so don't believe in it too much, because that gives you a lot of encouragement to do. No. That is good to hope, but not to believe. So it's quite tough issue. Murder, yeah. So anyway, وقال رحمهم الله, Abu Yusuf and Imam Muhammad رحمهم الله, they say, إذا ضربه بحجر عظيم أو خشبة عظيمة فهو عمد. Full stop. Hey Allah. Sayyidi, are you taking note for the thing? Sheikh Tahir Kiyani, you can, after completing the book, so you can just email it to him saying that during the lessons we went through, so he will just take note for the next edition. It will help the people who will come after us, So full stop. So Sahabain say, if someone commits a murder with a big rock or with big wood, big danda, okay, so that is deliberate. That is deliberate. So obviously, it's not equivalent of a death, unless we know it is a culture in which if they want to kill someone, they also use the thing also. Yes, possibly. Okay. Okay, Sayyidi. So Shibhul Amd is, according to Sahabain, so according to the definition of the Sahabain, أن يتعمد ضربه بما لا يقتل غالبا. It is to strike someone deliberately by something which normally kills. Okay, regardless if it is equivalent of a death or not. Okay, so killing someone. So for example, car. So crashing into someone deliberately. Is it deliberate? Is it amd or is it shibh amd? Understand? So for me it is tricky question. Would Abu Hanifa class this as deliberate murder or not? I would say no. Because the biggest question is, did he intend to kill or not? So do people kill with the car? Accident happens, but do they kill deliberately? No. They kill by weapon, but with the car. So you never can be sure that he intended to kill. Understand? Most probably it is just by accident, by mistake. Because car kills the people by mistake. People do not intend that. Do you understand what I mean?
Wouldn't that be unintentional then?
It would be shibham. But then Sahabain say, if we see someone doing it deliberately, riding into someone, driving, yes, so that is deliberate murderer. Understand? But from Abu Hanifa point of view, you never can be sure about it. So maybe it is the person never saw another guy outside and he was just driving. And so you never can be sure that he intended to kill. Do you understand? So, but anyway,
So Sheikh, wouldn't that be the third one? Wouldn't it be the third one, qadar, unintentional?
inshallah we're going to talk about all of that, yes. So if you see someone driving into someone, so that is shibhamd, according to Sahabain, according to Abu Hanifa, driving, okay? But by mistake, if it is just car crash, that's mistake, yes. But if you see someone driving into another person just outside standing, and you see him driving, intentionally driving into that person. Is it shibh hamd? So Sahabain would say it is deliberate. Abu Hanifa would say no, it is shibh hamd.
Because he doesn't necessarily have to die. He might just get
No, because it's not equipment of death. But what about if it is tank? You know tank. They do use the tank to kill the people, isn't it? To drive on them, isn't it? Yeah, that would be definitely equipment of murderer. Yeah. Sometimes switching from the herbal medicine into this is so difficult, you know. Now I do have in my mind marjoons different. So switching just, I wish sometimes if I would be a computer, just you click and it just switches, you know. Now I'm just talking and I'm thinking about this marjoon. Allah did not create a person with two hearts in his chest, which means that one person cannot be two. And so out of that, two cannot be. Sadaqallah al-Azim. Can I just have 2 minutes, please? Let's go back to the text. وموجب قال المصنف رحمه الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وموجب ذلك على القولين المأثم والكفارة ولا قود فيه وفيه الدية مغلظة على العاقلة. So it necessitates, it causes, so شبه العمد causes على القولين according to both of the opinions. Which opinions? Which both of the opinions? Which two opinions he is referring to? Yes, please. Which two opinions? MashaAllah. Which? Why Abu Hanifa and Sahabain? Why is not Sahabain two? Because it's two.
They say the same thing.
Exactly. So, so because both of them said, and he's not referring to the Imams, but he's referring to the statements. So both said one thing. Abu Hanifa one thing? Excellent. I don't know if I was able to do it or not. Unlocking that text. So the duty of the teacher is to teach you not only the subject, I'm teaching you the subject, but also unlocking the text. I don't think we had a lot of chance to do that, did we? With my Harbal students, I do it. So we do unlock the text also. Only one book is sufficient for you to become expert of unlocking the texts. So it gives you equipment of knowledge. So in the future, you will, if you pick up any book, you don't need teacher, okay? But you can just open it and read it. Okay, Sayyidi. وَمُوجَبُ ذَلِكَ عَلَى الْقَوْلَيْنِ. It necessitates, according to both of them, Sahabain and Abu Hanifa, al-ma'tham, obviously sin is there. Okay, but is it that permanent punishment which we no, because that's only about amd. Man qatala mu'minan muta'ammidan fajaza'uhu jahannam khalidan fiha wa ghadiba Allahu alayhi wa la'anahu. So anyway, that is about deliberate. Wal kaffara, and there is kaffara. Kaffara is it is the duty of the killer, the person who committed the murderer. Wala qawada, and there is no revenge. Revenge is only in the deliberate one. In Saudi, as you know, the Saudi Arabia is classed as Islamic State. Okay, so what all of these HT guys are looking for, so that what falls into Saudi Arabia. No, that is kingdom. Well, Umayyad was kingdom, and no one complained about that. That is classed as Khilafah. So all of that kingdom, that's nothing. Islamic State. Saudi is Islamic State. So in there, they say, crossing the red light is deliberate murder. If someone crosses a red light and commits like a car crash, if someone dies, so they take revenge. And also, driving the car for over 120 kilometers per hour, that is also deliberate murder. Do you think that fits into Hanafi school? Why?
Because you don't know their intention.
Yes, makes sense, because the main thing about deliberate is intention. How do you know it's deliberate? So you don't know. But can Zahir also specify the intention or not? Zahir. For example, Kinayat. Do you remember the conversation? So Zahir can specify the intention. So driving over that speed limit, can it specify the intention or not?
Usually driving over that speed doesn't cause death.
So somehow they came to the conclusion that it causes.
Is it because it's neglectful?
No, but then is that intentional? I mean, is it intentional murder? I mean, committing suicide or something?
It increases the likelihood, doesn't it?
Yes.
Car and the impact at that speed is more likely
Yeah, so you cannot control it as quick as you can, isn't it? Makes sense. So, based on Hanbali school, they came to this conclusion. I would give a bit more thought about it. So I think it is consistent with the position of Sahabain, because any act which most likely causes death. So we have to look into the statistics. Understand? Into the statistics. So driving for over 120, but obviously somehow you can understand, crossing the red light. Yeah, it's quite common, isn't it? You understand? So somehow you can understand. But speed limit, for example, 150 kilometers per hour, considered as deliberate murderer.
Do you know on the deliberate one we said though that it had to be a weapon?
That's the position of Abu Hanifa. Definition of Sahabain, anything which most likely causes death, that is deliberate. So, is it equivalent of death? That's position of Abu Hanifa. But does it normally cause death? That's the position of Sahabain. So, I think Hanbali position is consistent with the position of Abu Yusuf in my understanding. So, it is something to do with that, Yes, Eddie.
There is this disagreement between Abu Hanifa and the Sahih.
Sorry?
This disagreement
Yes.
between what's intentional.
Yes.
So if we are living in that state where the judge is Hanafi,
Yeah.
what does he do then? Because you've got conflicting.
Yeah. Obviously, the Mu'tamad position is the position of Abu Hanifa actually. But then the modified position of, do you remember we said, if it is repeatedly done, do you remember? So, modified position of Abu Hanifa is the Mu'tamad. But can judge nullify the position of Abu Hanifa and go with the Abu Yusuf? Well, according to our principles, as long as it is strong opinion, so then yes. In our case, it is strong opinion. Yes, so you can choose it, yes. But as you know, Mufti should be qualified, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so that is, I'm just leaving it with you guys. ولا قواد and no revenge. وفيه دية مغلظة على العاقلة. And the relatives are responsible to pay the diya. What is the diya? So it is 100 camels. Okay, but مغلظة, major. Okay, major diya. What is the major diya? So inshallah we're going to discuss about all of that. So it's not 100 of similar camels, 100 of different camels of different age. And do you understand? We're going to talk about all of that. Inshallah, it's coming. However, it is the position of the Athari Hanafis. The early Hanafis, they do not support the diya being on the relatives. Okay, saying it is the duty of the killer himself. But then Athari Hanafis, it was murderer does not come out of nothing. From the childhood, there will be some certain signs, of inclination towards that, immoral. You understand? So it was the duty of the relatives to stop it. So they did not. So mean they are also responsible. So that's why diya is the duty of the relatives. Like, yes, yeah.
The murderer doesn't pay any.
No. Kafara is paid by murderer.
No, but the diya.
It's aqila. Inshallah, we're going to talk about all of that. Yes. والخطأ على وجهين, and the murderer by mistake is two types. خطأ في القصد, so it's mistake, error in intention. وخطأ في الفعل, and error, mistake in the action, in the act. So in the intention, so for example, you go to savannah with your friend and you see buffalo. Do you know buffalo? And you shoot. And then your mashallah friend shouts from what are you doing? So it was your friend, looked like buffalo, mashallah, So go to savannah with your slim friends, just not to make mistakes, اوكي سيدي. والخطأ على وجهين. خطأ في القصد, so mistake in intention. Okay, so in intention. وهو أن يرمي شخصا يظنه صيدا. It is to kill someone, to shoot someone, thinking that it is a prey. فإذا هو آدم, but then you find out that it was a human, and then you shoot him. وخطأ في الفعل, and error, mistake in the action. وهو أن يرمي غرضا فيصيب آدميا. It is you shoot the prey, but you hit the for example, you throw the spear, okay, and then it, for example, falls on the prey, and what do they call sorry, rebounds, yeah. Because I do not do kung fu business, so I don't know. This guy goes to kung fu. Which kung fu do you do? Arslan do, Kitman do, yeah. Timbuktu, same. So it is the murderer by mistake. So it's two types. One is you make incorrect intention. So you assume. So mistake by assuming, and the second is mistake by acting. Okay. وموجب ذلك الكفارة, and it necessitates kafara. Well, obviously kafara is not that major thing, So I think the early Hanafi position, that's quite tough, because a killer just escapes with nearly nothing, It's only his relatives, Well, I don't know. I mean, but anyway, that's the Mu'tamad Hanafi. Yes, Eddie.
Is this the same kafara like the slave and then?
Exactly. Yeah. He's going to explain all of that. Yes. Sorry. So we do the further. If tight family cannot do, it goes to the next one, cousins, and then do you understand? So yeah. So that's early Hanafi position. It's unfair. It's not their error, but the killer, he's responsible. You understand? But anyway, we have got such a thing in Hanafi school also, which they say, if you do not have relatives, so then the people of your diwan, they are responsible. And what's the people of diwan? So your name is registered in the divaniya of. So it's like a national insurance. Do you know the numbers which are close to you? Those people are responsible to pay your. Do you understand? So it's unfair at all, isn't it? So that is Athari Hanafi position. But our early Mashayikh said no, it's only the killer, because relatives and the Ahlul Diwan, they are not responsible. So some of the Ahlul Diwan, they never saw you even. They are living somewhere in China, but just because their digits are close to yours, they have to pay. Why? So now you are just enjoying your life. Some Khalifa emails you. Amir al-Mu'mineen, this Hizb al-Tahrir, emails you saying, okay, I am Khalifa. So you are, because your Ahlul Diwan killed someone, you are responsible to send me 100 camels through email, It does make sense. I don't know this guy. Understand? Does not make sense. Well, as I said in the right beginning, punishments are based only on the athar, according to the Mu'tamad Hanafi position. Okay, so that's why sometimes it contradicts with the brain, actually. Okay, Sayyidi. وَمُوجَبُ ذَلِكَ, so it necessitates both of the types of the murderer by mistake, necessitates kafara وَالدِّيَ عَلَى الْعَاقِلَ وَلَا مَأْثَمَ فِيهِ, and there is no sin, because you did not kill. So it's just by mistake. So for example, okay, now I will ask you a question. So far, we have done 3 types of murderer. Okay. So do you know the story of Musa alayhi salatu wassalam? Which type was that? Sorry?
Intentional.
Intentional.
Ship or
Why is it intentional?
Because he intended to kill him.
No, but then if you remember, we said that what is in the heart never can be known, but we look into the external condition.
He gave reason after he explained.
Sorry?
After he explained the death of.
No. I'm not talking about Khidr alayhi salam, but Musa alayhi salam himself.
What was the story?
That one, yeah, Khidr, that was intentional, definitely yes. I'm talking about the previous one. Yes. Sorry?
That can still happen today as well when someone dies.
For example, Oldham Sharif.
There's still punch.
Yes.
That ship
Shibh. Why?
doesn't usually, punch doesn't usually do.
So, according to both, it cannot be, isn't it? Because it's not equipment of death, Abu Hanifa, Sahabain, it does not normally cause, isn't it? But what did we say in terms of the hukum of the Shibh Hamd
Kafara and diya.
and sin? Do we Hanafis believe in prophets committing sin?
Sheikh, are we applying our fiqh to different nations?
There were Hanafis also, you know. Just look into the condition. So what was the condition? So Egyptian was coming to oppress. And what Musa alayhi salatu wasalam did? Yes, so it is in the defense. Do you commit sin? No, you are defending. But obviously, I don't believe that Musa alayhi salam wanted to kill him. But he was defending. Understand? So I don't know, was Egyptian guy, was he weak? But as we know, Egyptians were very tough, isn't it? But in opposite side, Jews are quite short and slim people, aren't they? But Egyptians, have you seen them? MashaAllah. So their palm is like this, you know. Understand? So when they eat, so the entire plate just in one go, you know, it just goes in, you know. And the MashaAllah mouth. So how possible that Musa? So either it was some type of odd Egyptian, you know, with certain conditions. Or Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, as well, we have this single chain narration in which each prophet is given the strength of 40 male, isn't it? Well, obviously, Athari Mashayikh, they take it as physical. But we, our early Mashayikh, we consider it as intellectual. So one prophet easily can equal 40, do you know, intellectual performance of 40 people. Okay, so he's artist, he's a poet. So, I mean, so many intellectual products, which 40, so anyway, so could that be the case? Inshallah alam.
Kind of fallen over the head and they died on the spot because
فوكزه موسى فقضى عليه because
where
فوكزه. So in Quran, do I have Qurra? So فوكزه موسى. So after that, is it وقضى عليه or فقضى عليه? As far as I know, it is فقضى عليه. So the reason for the death is punch, not falling. And understand?
even the impact was a punch.
No, because فقضى عليه. And also qadha is huwa, going back to Musa. So he's the one who finished him off. Yeah, so it's punch, only one punch. Not because he has fallen and hit the ground. It's not. It's him. Because of fa and qadha pronoun goes back to Musa alayhi salam. But anyway.
What do we say regarding the story of Khidr?
Sorry?
The story of Khidr.
Yeah. You know, obviously, our aqidah is Zahiri aqidah, isn't it? But that is Batini knowledge, isn't it? In the Batini knowledge, for example, so Batini knowledge, it is justified by the end result. But Zahiri religion which we follow, it is based on the explicit current condition. So the outcome, the result was positive. So it is justified by that. Oh, so obviously, if I would be judge, and if they would bring Khidr alayhi salam, definitely I would take revenge. I would say for the revenge. Yeah. Okay, Sayyidi. Yes. ولا مأثم. So there is, because it's just error, mistake. وما أجري مجرى الخطأ مثل النائم ينقلب على رجله فيقتله فحكمه حكم الخطأ. And the fourth type of murderer, it is something which is similar to the error, the previous one. Now I'm going to ask you a question. So look, the definition. So for example, you are a boxer. Are you married? Are you guys married? After marrying, you are a boxer. And in your dream, you are fighting Khabib Nurmagomedov, yeah? And then you punch him. And then you wake up because your wife says, ah! And that is the last ever, sound you hear from her, She's finished. Qada alayhi. So what do you do? Or you are football guy. Okay, you kick the ball, and then your wife, again. It was her head through the window, So what do you do with that? I would say, if you would bring this case to me as a judge, I would say, goal! It is. So it's not deliberate, but is it mistake? Is it mistake? No, it's not mistake, because no any murderer is intended. So when you're hunting, you intend to kill the prey, but while you're sleeping, do you intend to kill? No. With intention every night, with your wife with intention of killing. Allah Akbar, then you sleep, but then she's still alive, next morning, unfortunately, So it's not mistake, but it looks like mistake. So that's why they did categorize it as fourth type. So it is ma ujriya majra al-khata. It is similar to the khata, but it's not mistake. Understand? So because mistake is two types, does not fit into any of them. So it is similar to the mistake. Mithal, for example, an-naim, someone asleep person, yanqalibu, so he turns over, ala rajulin, turns over a person, fayaqtuluhu, and then he kills him. We had this case in Syria. I was there. This lady, actually, she killed her newborn baby because she was, breastfeeding, and her breast has fallen on the face, so the baby was unable to breathe. So it happens, and it was at night. She was sleeping. So that was big problem, yeah. فحكمه حكم الخطأ. So it is similar to the khata. So it is kafara and diya, but there is no sin. وأما القتل بسبب, but causing a death. قتل بسبب is causing death, or it is a death by a reason, causing a death by some cause. For example, كحافر البئر. For example, you dig a whale and someone comes and falls. For example, coming and you dig a whale, he comes and falls, and then you dig. So anyway, so that is, if he falls, so it is you have caused the death of that person. Yes, Heidi.
Shaking the previous example, like the person who's sleeping.
Yes. Yes.
He said there is no sin, but there is kafara.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask, why is that the case? So, and what is the purpose of the kafara?
So it is just to make him more conscious about it. So even, for example, in the mistake, Okay, so do you think the killer, he needs punishment? He did not intend. So just to make him to be more aware, more conscious for the next time. So he just slap actually. So anyway,
Check what if accidentally killed like a family member?
yeah. So it is the entire family to the closest. So it will be father or mother or son, children. They will receive it. From
Is it the father paying towards?
yes. So the killer, the killer's family, if it's the same family of the victims, so they, for example, the father will pay and he will receive also. Understand? So it is athar, it's athar. So anyway, وواضع الحجر في غير ملكه. Or for example, you place the stone outside of your position. Okay, so for example, in the street. Okay, you just throw it because you was cleaning your place, your garden. You just throw it outside, and for example, someone comes, slips over it, or for example, car comes and and it causes death. So we say it is قتل بسبب, causing death. وموجبه, what does it necessitate? إذا تلف فيه آدمي, so if human dies from it or some damage happens to the human, الدية على العاقل, so الدية ولا كفارة عليه, and there is no كفارة, obviously there is no sin too. Okay.
You know, what if someone insults someone
Yes.
because of that he goes and commits suicide?
Yeah, mashallah, good question. What do you think?
Yeah, because that was the reason for him to.
In our time, definitely it would be classed as that, But unfortunately, when our fuqaha used to write the fiqh, for some reason, you hardly find the like mental condition of the person. So, for example, during the depression, someone commits a suicide. What our books say? Our books do not look into the depression; they look into the suicide. Well, depression is the main part of the suicide. So it's not suicide. Okay, as we say, the person who commits suicide, he will be in the grave committing suicide until it's not applicable anymore, because depression is very similar to the condition of junun, غير مكلف. Understand? But when this fiqh was written, they totally disregarded this, But in the later, especially the Central Asian Hanafi, they are very into this, They look into the other side. For some reason, these Persians and Turks, they had very too much like a human side to it, Even if you read their poems, you find a lot of love, a lot of emotion. So for example, what Shamsulaim al-Halwani says from Bukhara, so he says, do you know, as a punishment, as ta'zir, do you remember ta'zir? So slapping on here, that is too much. Human does not deserve this at all. But Arabians, in front of a human, do you know, the Khalifa will come to slap you on. Arabians have a bit Bedouin mentality, do you understand? So this is their product,
Surely anybody who does commit suicide, aren't they going through a kind of overwhelming grief anyway?
Yeah.
So would that apply to all suicides then?
So for me, yeah, I do not class that as a sin, I do not class, because he is mentally unwell.
So would this be for all people who commit suicide, or are you specifically saying that? Because I'm saying anybody who entertains the thought of suicide.
Obviously, in terms of that verse in Surah Baqarah, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ, I follow the early Hanafi stance. This verse is not saying do not kill yourself only, but it's saying لَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ means do not kill each other. Understand? Over a sin. إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِكُمْ رَحِيمًا. So there is no any sin which makes you to commit a suicide or which makes you to kill each other. For example, adultery. You understand? Yes. So, but unfortunately, we have this single chain narration. So Athari Hanafis, they took that single chain narration as interpretation to that verse, but it's totally detached from one another. Understand? So for example, and also that other hadith in which, do you remember, group of Sahaba were praising this Sahabi because he was very noble, well behaved, very modest, etc. And then Rasulullah said, no, he's not as what you guys are saying, you know. And then Sahaba said, how come? So during the battle, he has got a lot of injuries, and overnight he was unable to bear it because it was too painful, and then he committed suicide. Sahaba came and said, Ya Rasulullah, what you said was right, he committed suicide. Then Rasulullah said, as they claim, yes, ashhadu anni, I do believe that I'm a prophet. How come? First of all, do you know, being unable, do you know the people in the pain, they have got specific ruling, understand? So even if you are ill, you don't have to fast, isn't it? And fasting is one of 5 major foundations, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So the person who has got a lot of injuries while defending the oppressed people, and then he commits suicide because he's unable to bear it, he's going to the hell. How come? Does not make sense. But single chain narration overrides, you know, everything in Islam. So they take this single chain narration and give interpretation to that verse in Baqarah that was talking about Jews. After that incident, okay, Allah clarifies, لا تقتلوا أنفسكم إن الله كان بكم رحيما. Do not kill each other over a sin, because Allah forgives everything. Means no any sin constitutes death penalty except 2, which Allah mentions, isn't it? So that was the meaning of Quran. But so now it became very wide. So even because of depression, someone kills himself, commits suicide, he's going to the hell. So suicide became in itself like independent, you can say, route to the hell. No, it's incorrect. Quran does not say that. Okay, Sayyidi. والقصاص واجب بقتل كل محقون الدم على التأبيد إذا قتل عمدا. قصاص, revenge is wajib, it is necessary, so it is there by killing anyone whose life is protected permanently. If he is killed deliberately. Now, first condition, قتل كل محقون الدم, killing anyone whose life is protected. Give me the list of the people whose life is protected and whose life is not protected. Okay, so whose life is not protected according to the official fiqh?
We fought in a war and you killed someone.
Yeah.
So his life's not protected.
Yes, life is not protected. Not protected. No, not protected. No. Children are, but not women. Only humans. We are talking about humans, not about women, you know. Yes. So, sorry? We have 3 categories. We have believers and Ahl al-Dhimma and Harbis. Okay. So what is the difference between Harbi and Kuffar? Darul Harb and Darul Kufr.
Kufr is there's no war, they're non-believers.
Linguistically, I'm talking about technically, Sayyidi. Linguistically, you are right. And most probably that's what Abu Hanifa actually was talking about. But the official Hanafi position does not any. So they take from Abu Hanifa his statement, I mean his wordings, technical, but with different interpretation. Darul Kufr and Darul Harb.
Is it when the Muslim country doesn't have a treaty with
So it's similar. I think that's what Abu Hanifa was trying to say, but that is غير معتمد. What is Darul Kufr and Darul Harb?
Darul Harb, neighboring countries, then that'll be classed as Darul Harb.
Exactly. So that's only the condition. Border. Any non-Muslim country that has a border with Muslim country in fiqh is classed as Darul Harb. But any non-Muslim country which does not have a border with Muslim land, that is classed as Darul Kufr. Is there any different ruling? No, it's exactly same. Okay, so as you can see, it is not the it's not the terms which is established by the Athari Hanafis, because they don't. So if you do not make any difference, so then why are you giving them different names? Names are given by Abu Hanifa for different purpose, but it is taken by Athari Hanafis for different reason. So anyway, so and Ahl al-Dhimma, it is non-Muslims who live in Muslim land, citizens of Muslim country. They are mahqun ad-dam. Their life is protected. Okay, but what about the non-Muslims from Darul Harb or Darul Kufr? According to the fiqh, we call them musta'man, the person who is visiting with visa, getting visa. So they are classed into two categories: long stay or short stay. Anything lesser than 1 year, short stay. Anything more than 1 year, we ask that person, we give him two options: either you leave the country or either you get citizenship. Okay, so leaving country means he should go out and come back with a new agreement, with new contract, or apply for the citizenship so he become as one of us. Musta'min, of short stay, is his life protected according to the fiqh or not? Yes, please. The person with short stay in Muslim land, does he have protection for his life or not? Yes, but is it permanent? So it's not permanent. So it does not fit into the second category. Means, look, what does he say? Revenge will be applicable by killing someone whose life is not permanently protected. Understand? Permanently protected. So if you kill your Christian neighbor, we kill you. Revenge, because his life is permanently protected, because he is Ahl Dhimma, he lives in Muslim land as citizen, so his life is protected. But Musta'man, who comes for short stay, you are sinful for killing, you are going to pay all of the penalties, but is there revenge? His protection is not permanent, so no revenge. Understand? So from here you understand that this fiqh is political fiqh, okay, written by politicians. ويقتل الحر بالحر والحر بالعبد والعبد بالحر والعبد بالعبد والمسلم بالذمي ولا يقتل المسلم بالمستأمن ويقتل الرجل بالمرأة والكبير بالصغير والصحيح بالأعمى والزمن. So revenge is applicable between two free people and between two slaves also, and between free man and slave also. In here we have slight disagreement. This is our Hanafi position, but Shafi'is and Hanbalis, as far as I remember, they say if a free man kills a slave, there is no revenge, but there is financial compensation. Okay, so because they say slave is a commodity, so by damaging the commodity, you are responsible to refund. Okay, so obviously we say slave has two sides, being like sellable and buyable, but also being soul, life. So that is for that. And also, according to Abu Hanifa, Muslim will be killed for killing the non-Muslim. Abu Yusuf says no. So if Muslim kills non-Muslim, he will not be killed as revenge. Okay, and that is the official position of Shafi'is and Hanbalis also. So that is the Athari position.
Even if it's a
Dhimmi, that we're talking about. That is specifically what we're talking about. وَالْمُسْلِمُ بِالذِّمِّيِّ. So Muslim will be killed as a revenge for killing the Dhimmi, Jewish or Christian, for example. وَلَا يُقْتَلُ الْمُسْلِمُ. But the person, the Muslim, will not be you will not apply the revenge for musta'min. We spoke about it, permanent protection. That is the reason. وَيُقْتَلُ الرَّجُلُ بِالْمَرْأَةِ. It's one of the weakest ever Hanafi mas'ala, you know. If man kills a lady, do we apply revenge or not? Hanafis, sometimes they do agar-magar business. This is one of the agar-magar of Hanafi, school. So Hanafis say yes. I think while Quduri was writing it, his wife was just next to him, So because of that, later he forgot to correct it, Yeah, so because the main thing is life are equal. Lives of male and female is equal. Obviously, we have Athari position. As far as I remember, it is Shafi and Hanbali. They say, man, for killing the female, there is no revenge, but there is financial penalty. Okay, so we do have ahadith, single chain narrations, supporting that also. Okay, and also they refer to the explicit meaning of that verse. Al-abdu bil-abdi wal-hurru bil-hurri wal-untha bil-untha. Female for killing the female, So in the Quran does not mention male for female. Okay, so it's and Abu Hanifa says al-aynu bil-ayn was-sinnu bis-sin wal-hurumatu qisas. So eye for eye and tooth for tooth. So regardless if it's the eye of a male or female. So that is the thing. So Abu Hanifa says this verse is explicit. Okay, and the previous verse, Shafi'i verse, is ambiguous. So explicit overrides the ambiguity of that verse. وَالْكَبِيرُ بِالصَّغِيرِ. Okay, and older person will be punished for killing the younger person. وَالصَّحِيحُ بِالْأَمْ. Yes. And the healthy person, the person who can see, for example, for killing the blind, we apply the revenge also. وَالزَّمِن, and paralyzed. For example, a healthy person kills the person on the wheelchair. Okay, so we say no, there is revenge also for that. Yeah. I'm writing some article about it. Right now I'm not ready to speak out. But obviously the contemporary official not only Hanafi, but Ahl Sunnah and Shia, they say no. Because it's suicide, and suicide is... If you remember, I told you, fiqh is written by people who most of the time have disregarded the mental and that other human side of... Yeah. So Allah alam. Hey Allah. وَلَا يُقْتَلُ الرَّجُلُ بِابْنِهِ. A person will not be killed for killing his own son. Why do you think so? Why do you think this is the case? I already answered this question generally. No, that was as punishment, isn't it? That was as a punishment. But indirectly you did answer the question. Why person will not be killed for killing his son.
If they take it back to that narration.
Exactly. Punishments are based on narrations. So hadith says أنت ومالك لأبيك, you belong to your father. Do you remember? Yeah, so that's one thing. And also even some of the Qur'ani Hanafis also, they say they made indirect ijtihad, do you know, from that verse in which Allah says وَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفٍّ, do not say uff to them. So they extracted from it that any harm from the children to their parents void. So like a revenge for killing his son, is it harm hitting his father because of the son? So they said because of this verse. Obviously it's too far, you know, you cannot do that.
This issue about body killing, is that permissible?
No. Abu Hanifa said stoning is not part of Islam, only lashing for the adultery.
For revenge, so who do they explain who carries out the revenge?
Yeah, it's all of the punishments are not applicable unless by government only, yes, only. But what about the local government? So if the local government are appointed by the major ones or by the local authority, so then it's possible. So only government. Hey khuda. وَلَا بِعَبْدِهِ, and person will not be killed for killing his slave. وَلَا بِمُدَبَّرِهِ وَلَا بِمُكَاتَبِهِ وَلَا بِعَبْدِ وَلَدِهِ, and revenge is not applicable for killing his mudabbar or mukatab or the slave of his son. Okay, so it's all of that is based on that narrations. When you said it's Umar radiallahu, was you just guessing, or are you aware of that punishment? Umar radiallahu killing his own son. You are referring to the specific story. Okay, good. MashaAllah. وَمَنْ وَرِثَ قِصَاصًا عَلَى أَبِيهِ سَقَطْ. So, if you inherit revenge, which should be applied on your own father, it will be void. So, you are not in position to claim revenge against your father. So, for example, your father kills your wife. Well, in the first place, who would claim that, you know? Who is that fool, okay, stupid, to claim that revenge, you know? Because you will go for the second turn shopping again, you know? The new shadi ho jata hai, you know, so it's beautiful, red color again, you know? So, وَلَا يَسْتَوْفِي الْقِصَاصُ إِلَّا بِالسَّيْفِ. And revenge is not applicable except by sword. It's again based on the single chain narration. لا قصاص إلا بالسيف. Okay, hadith is quite famous.
You know this qisas, what if the government decides that they are going to kill him? Do they have that authority, or do they have to be approved?
Only by one of two conditions: fasad or revenge. Besides that, government they don't have a right to apply. One of two, fasad or for example, drug dealers. Government has a right, yes, because causing fasad. وإذا قتل المكاتب عمدا وليس له وارث إلا المولى فله القصاص إن لم يترك وفاء وإن ترك وفاء ووارثه غير المولى فلا قصاص له. Okay. Mukatab he's specifically mentioning the mukatab and the master who will claim the revenge. Now, why is he specifically mentioning the mukatab? Why not mentioning anything else? We have so many categories of slaves. Why specifically mukatab? Yes, please. And excellent, because he's not fully under the position of the master also. So for the master to be in position to claim revenge, he should be in position. So now Qudur is clarifying that, because we have to know, is master, because master was not in position to stop him from buying and selling, isn't it? Because he was, from that angle, he was free. But in terms of punishment and claiming revenge, is master in position of claiming that revenge or not? So that's why Imam Quduri radiallahu anhu specifically mentioning this. Now, what do you think? Is master in position of claiming revenge for his mukatab or not? What do you think? Yes, please. Yes. Yeah, makes sense, because it's not fulfilled yet. So means still he's in charge. Yeah, makes sense. Is there anything else?
His family members should have a right.
Exactly, because from one side he's trading, but so he's free man on that, from that side. So it should be his, not his master, but his family members. Makes sense also. How to reconcile between you two guys?
If he's paid off his master, then he goes.
He did not complete the contract, but he has been killed while he was fulfilling that. What do you think?
So then it goes. The guy goes to the master.
You see if there's any family first, and if there's no, then you go to the master.
No, but no. Now that's not the case. The case is he still slave or not? If slave, then family members, they have no right over him. If not, so then master doesn't have any claim.
You see how much money he leaves behind.
Exactly. So what he leaves, is that sufficient to fulfill the contract or not? Zindabad, well done. All of you guys, well done, mashallah. Perfect. So is he leaving? Because as soon as he dies, whatever is in his hand will go back to the master. So is that sufficient to free him or not? If yes, then master cannot claim revenge. If that is not sufficient, so then it is his family members who will claim the revenge. Well done. I would say fiqh is very, very beneficial subject, I would make everyone to study fiqh, even the non-Muslims, because it trains the brain, isn't it? But not just on textual basis, which is just reading and translating, but like question answer. So if you, for example, finish the fiqh, even non-Muslims, in 2 years, so within 2 years, so it will be a big jump, intellectually, very big jump. Obviously, the women, they never participate because they don't have it, brain. It's here, isn't it? Allah gave us only, Allah gave them just makeup, Okay, Sayyidi. Do I have a time? What time is it, Sayyidi?
20 minutes, yeah? 20 minutes?
We'll have about 20 minutes. We are very slow. So within 3 weeks, I want to go through half of the punishments, وإذا قتل عبد الرهن لا يجب القصاص حتى يجتمع الراهن والمرتهن. Okay, so now we have rahan. Who can remind me what is the meaning of rahan? Yes, Sidi.
pledge you give against him to fulfill that.
Exactly. So rahan is, I think in English they call it deposit, isn't it? So I'm making contracts. For example, I will borrow money from you, and as security, I just make my house in your hand. So if I will be unable to pay off, so you have so we call deposit, isn't it? How is it called in English, Sadie? Guarantee. Women have brain. I never knew that. Okay, so I am buying your house. So then you have asked me rahan. Okay, so then I have slave. I said, okay, so here is the rahan. Okay, and then rahan gets killed. Okay, so for us to be in the position of demanding revenge, because rahan is not yet freed, because contract is still ongoing. Okay, so if you remember, murtahin possesses the rahan, but in our case, so if murtahin possesses the rahan, is he in position to demand the revenge or not? So Quduri says no. Both of rahan and murtahin should come together. Okay, they together should claim the revenge. ومن جرح رجلا عمدا فلم يزل صاحب فراش حتى مات فعليه القصاص. If a person injures deliberately the second person, and the second person, he was ill for a certain period of time from the injury, and he died from the injury, is there revenge or not? Can you explain? He says yes. Well, I would say no. What do you say? We have to apply that principle. Okay, so what was the cause of the injury? So if it is, according to Abu Hanifa, the weapon of a death, yes. According to Sahih, it is something which normally causes death, yes. Or else, no. For example, fist. From that injury, he dies. Okay, after, for example, 1 month. Do I apply revenge? According to both, no. ومن قطع يد غيره عمدا من المفصل قطعت يده وكذلك الرجل ومارن الأنف والأذن. If you chop off someone's hand from the joint, then qisas will be applied. Same thing is about his feet. And the marinul anf. Marinul anf is, do you know that soft tissue of the nose? So we have the bone, but then it ends, and this, do you know that tissue starts? So cutting from there is revenge, and also the ear, where there is soft tissue. Understand? The general principle. Okay, so now my question to you guys, why is he specifying it with mifsal, which is joint? Joint. Why is he specifying it? So for example, this is joint and this is joint. What about if he cuts from there? Is there revenge or not?
Maybe just for the hand then,
How?
because it's not the full joint of the forearm.
So what do you do then? How do you take revenge?
For the hand.
From here. So if it's chopped, so I mean there is revenge. There is revenge, but from here. Why?
Because he mentions the full joint. If you take the full joint, then there's the revenge of us.
But you said yes, there is revenge. It's not. It was not full joint. This is not full joint.
Or from here.
But he did cut from here. Yes, Sadie. Is it reminding something? This guy is a scary guy, you know. He always sits in the corner, you know. I think he calculates something, looks at me, you know. He does some plans, you know. Just keep in your mind. I never walk alone, you know. So don't think. Don't think. Understand? Don't plan. Yes, Eddie, what do you think? Yes. So the general principle is the most important thing in the revenge is measurability. So can you measure this? No. Because if you measure it by centimeters, mashallah, some of the people, you know, their arm is from here till there, you know. So for example, 20 centimeters, it's only one, fingertip, you know, and so you cannot measure it. But joint, yes, it is measurable. So anything which is measurable, there is revenge. Anything which is not measurable, there is diya, there is financial compensation. Okay. So anyway, but again, as I said, it's based on the athar again. Okay, so it is punishments are based on athar, or otherwise, what Quran says, Quran forbids us from mutilation. So all of that is not permissible. And that is the position of Imam Zufar, Sufyan bin Sakhban, and Ibrahim bin Sayyar, and the other direct senior students of Abu Hanifa. They said no revenge except for the deliberate murderer, by the definition of Abu Hanifa. Okay, but what about the mutilation of the people who commit fasad? So for example, this guy creates nuclear bomb. What do I apply on him? Cutting, isn't it? It's a cutting, like hand and leg, isn't it? We say that cutting leads to the death. So it's not mutilation, but it is causing the death. We do that, yes, we Hanafis do that. So if someone comes and creates a nuclear bomb, so our position against him is government should catch him and kill him by one of the following ways: either hanging, okay, or either chopping off hand and leg, like cross, opposite to each other, but which has to cause death. So after that, they should not survive. But if it is surviving, not permissible to cut, to chop off. Understand? That is our Hanafi position. I mean, early Hanafi position. Yes, Sayyidi.
You mentioned the office from Asar.
Yes.
Is that based on the hadith of Hazrat Umar?
Yes, yeah. So Umar radiallahu anhu, he's the one who did it. Yes. So all of these punishments are either from Umar or from Ali radiallahu anhuma. So one of them too. So the entire chapter of punishments are from them too.
So you say cause death, would that be over days by the wound getting infected, or do you have to be over very short period?
So we don't care as long as they die. We don't care. We don't really care, to be honest. So because if you remember, we said the governor has a right to apply death penalty against two categories of people. So killer or the one who commits fasad. So this is committing fasad.
So if you state the chopping of the hands,
Yes.
where does that
Imam Zufar says no. So they should not be chopping off the limb after which person will survive. It cannot be.
Is it doing that?
Sorry?
It is implemented.
It's Athari Islam, you know, based on what Umar and Ali radiallahu anhum used to do. And we do have authentic narrations in which both of them did chop off. No, well, isn't it that وَقَطَّعْنَاهُمْ إِثْنَيْ عَشَرَ أَسْبَاطًا أُمَمًا about Banu Israel. So qata does it explicitly mean cutting? So Allah made the Jews into 12 asbat. Did He cut them? No, but Quran says Allah did cut them. So what's the meaning of قَطَّعْنَاهُمْ then? So anyway, we'll talk about all of that. Said yes.
You know, in this scenario where they say, you know, someone chops off someone's hand,
Yes.
chop off his hand. Isn't that justice though?
Yeah. So deliberately causing the harm should be compensated. But is it by mutilation? We say no. Financially, it should be compensated. But and on top of that, governor, if he senses that person has got that desire, so he can imprison him forever, permanently. But no, it's only financial compensation. Okay, so we say how many hands human has? 2. So it means by chopping off only one hand, he should pay half value of the human. Understand? Same thing is about leg. 2 legs means half of a full human. So it goes so on. Okay, Sayyidi. ومن ضرب عين رجل فقلعها فلا قصاص عليه فإن كانت قائمة وذهب ضوءها فعليه القصاص تحمى له المرآة ويجعل على وجهه قطن رطب وتقابل عينه بالمرآة حتى يذهب ضوءها. Okay, so now we have this case about damaging the eye. So let's suppose that some person punches on the eye of second person, and then his eye falls off. Do we implement punishment on this qisas or not? Qisas. If I get this case, I will bring you to put it back to his socket, as a miracle, It's not doable. No. So do we do it or not? Do we take revenge or not? Just go back to the general principle about the qisas. What is the general principle? Sorry? Weapon. No. I'm not talking about the revenge. I'm talking about when it is applicable. If it's not life, but a limb. When it is applicable. When revenge is applicable. Anything measurable. So is it measurable or not? Can you accurately do it? How? So how you can? So maybe just bringing this tape on one eye, and then slapping on his back behind, falls off. So measurable. I'm measuring it. What's that? With a spoon, Aldun Sharif, from the behind. So the eye, you cannot do it accurately, okay? Because all of them nerves, you cannot do exactly how it happened, okay? But obviously joint you can do, because it's measurable, okay? So that's why no revenge for that, but only financial penalty. But what about if eye is still there, that person cannot see, lost eyesight because of punching? Can you do it? Can you cause it? I will still stay there, but he will be unable to see. Can you make it to happen? How?
Yes, you mentioned that. You do have this.
Exactly. Okay, so it's like with the glass. Okay, so how it is done. So anyway, the most important thing is you can make someone's eye to not to function anymore in terms of not to seeing, but you cannot take it out accurately. So that was the you can say understanding of our mashayikh. Okay, radiallahu anhum. So you just bring the mirror. Okay, so as he's saying, and you bring a cotton, wet cotton, and applying it on the. So if you have damaged the right eye of the person, so your revenge is on his right eye, and that's how you will make him to lose eyesight. So will Imam Zufar accept this or not? Obviously, I never read anything from Zufar, but I would say most likely no, because it's some type of mutilation, isn't it? Wallahu alam. We have this principle.
Is this only for it's deliberate, or is it for
Yes. No, it's only deliberate. Qisas is only for deliberate. We have this principle, general principle, in all of the fields, not only fiqh. We say, لا ينسب إلى ساكت قول, except in the issues of challenge. Okay, so لا ينسب إلى ساكت قول means if someone is silent, you do not attribute an opinion to him, or you do not say that he's agreeing or etc. He's just silent. لا ينسب إلى ساكت قول, except in very specific conditions. For example, a virgin lady, father says, okay, your cousin came and asking your hand. Are you okay with it? A virgin lady keeps silence. Do we accept it? Do we attribute statement to her or not? Yes. So it is just small exemptions here and there. Okay. Abu Hanifa takes it even one step further. For example, do you know, you come to me, you chase me up saying you stole my money. I do not say no, but I say take this money. What Abu Yusuf said?
You admitted.
Admitted. But what Abu Hanifa said? You did not admit. So Abu Hanifa is still going with that. Understand? Because noble people, they want to avoid this mess, you know. For them, reputation is more important. So they rather pay off money, even if they did not do anything, rather do that than to let them to take them to the court. Understand? So it's one of the, so anyway, لا ينسب إلى ساكت قول. Make sure that you take note of all of them. Get out. Wahhabis are not allowed in my place, in my class. Even if they are hiding their eye behind the glasses, you know. Okay, Sayyidi. Okay, so then he says, وَفِي السِّنِّ الْقِصَاص, and in the tooth, there is qisas. I say, does not make sense. Is it measurable or not? Have you seen? No, tooth, yeah, of course. It's in Quran. Yeah, of course. No, but, you know, sometimes I have very beautiful small tooth, look. But some tooth, mashallah, you know, is so big, you know, some of the people. So, his tooth will not equal mine. So how is it measurable then? Why you can apply qisas on that? Yes.
one hand is the same size as the other?
So it means it supports what I'm saying. So even that should not be applicable.
That is applicable.
Yeah. So means what Zufar said, there is no mutilation in Islam, means that is strong position then. Even if it's measurable, I mean, even if it is from the joints, what do you think?
You have different types of teeth.
So,
So if you knock someone's, for example, incisor out,
no, that's what I'm talking about. Do you know, for example, Dina, I have seen some of the, Dina, this front tooth, mine is small, but some people, mashallah, so wide. If they would wash it properly, you can just, you know, look, use it as a mirror, you know. Just tickle him and then use it as a mirror. Makes, I mean, works, you know, makes the job, does the job, you know. So in here, measurability is not in terms of a size, but in terms of the accuracy of one. So this one, from his mouth, you can pick up the one. Understand? Okay. So anyway, we do still have the same position. Okay, group, big group, not small group, big group of the Hanafis said no. But then what about al-aynu bil-ayn was-sinnu bis-sin, eye for eye and tooth for. So actually they said that does not mean literally tooth for tooth and eye for eye, but that is talking about the justice, because it is talking about the Jews of that time, so they would not take revenge for the poor person from the wealthy person. So Allah was talking about that, saying all of them are equal, eye for eye, tooth for tooth. So it's not literally, but it is talking about murderer. So can you kill someone by pulling out his tooth? No, means it's not talking about applying the revenge on the tooth, but it is about life. But then why eye for eye? It's about the just equality of everyone in front of the revenge. Do you understand? So disagreement is quite tough, I would say. Anyway, this is the official Hanafi position. Okay, Sayyidi. Is it time? What time is it? Oh. Inshallah, we are going to stop here. I don't think, Sayyidi, we're going to do the half of the punishments. It's just for reading. As you can see, there is nothing to understand, isn't it? Just reading is easy. We do as much as we can, and then you just watch the students just to finish off, to complete, yeah. And if they, after that, if they pass the test for the entire Quduri, I'm ready to give the isnad through me to Quduri, inshallah. Yeah, so are you guys going to do specific mark for the isnad, or is it just general? Because in our institute we do 70 as far as I know for ijaza, but for isnad is 80 and plus.
Discuss it with yourself.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, Said, inshallah I will see you tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum.